right along with me and Sippin Tea with Lisa D. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sippin Tea with Lisa D. I want you to meet some people, and I got some places I want you to see. That's the goal of Sippin Tea with Lisa D. So, you know something I found out? I found out that even though everybody's saying Johnny Depp won, Amber Heard actually won a little too, because she won $2 million. And then Johnny Depp, out of the $13 million he won, he only gets $10.35 million, you know. And, I was just thinking, an easy way to make money is to get somebody rich and marry them for 13 months, take a poop on their bed, and then beat them up, and then sue them after you wrote a book about them that wasn't true. I mean, that would be an easy way to make some money. I mean, be careful who you love, folks, because the things love will make you do, love will make you some crazy stuff. Like poop the bed and do coke in court. I'm pretty sure she was doing coke in court. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that brings me to my song. Love. The things we do for you. Ooh, love. Love. Oh, love. The things we do for you. Oh, love. Look what you did to Romeo and Juliet. That's the power of you, the power of your love. All the things we do. Oh, for you. Oh, love. Will someone give us just a taste of you? Just a little taste of you. Oh, love. All the things we do for you. Oh, love. Oh, love. You made somebody take a bullet straight through the heart for someone else. Oh, love, you bring a strong man down to his knees, begging, baby, baby, please, the power of you, love, all the things we do. Love for you. Oh, love. Oh, love. Oh, love. All the things we do. All the things we do. For you.
Whoa, love. The things we do for you. Oh, you please you love. All the things we do for you. Oh, love. Oh, love. Ooh, love. Yeah, love will get you. Love will get you. We do a whole lot of stuff for love. Like, wear high heels that hurt and, stuff our bras and, go get facelifts. And we do a whole lot of stuff for love. Got me a little proclaimed. So today's guest is Ken Tucker. Let's bring Ken Tucker to the screen. Ken Tucker is a bluesman extraordinaire. He is a huge entertainer. He signed on to he's got a record deal with Count Zero Records. He's got all types of music out there. He is phenomenal bluesman. I mean, just phenomenal. And hey, Ken, I want to give you 15 minutes to wow my people out here with your music, Ken. But don't forget, you're muted.
I had to unmute the mic here. Oh, I'll be happy to do so. I don't know if I'll wow them or not, but I'll give them my best shot.
Ken, you're amazing.
Well, I'm going to have to take out my earphones because this cord is getting in the way of my guitar. So, you just want to do 15 minutes of music, or?
I want 15 minutes of entertainment from Ken Tucker.
All right. Well, I'm going to take these earphones off, and we'll go for it. Okay. Here we go.
And he has music.
I'm going to play this.
Count Zero Records.
I'm going to play a little bit of slide guitar for you. I'm caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I don't know what's gonna come of me. I'm caught between a fire and a hurricane. Caught between a fire and a hurricane. All this trouble messing with my brain. Lightning up above me, the thunder in the clouds. up above me, thunder in the clouds. I don't think I can get out of this house. Running off between the devil and the deep blue sea. I'm caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I don't know what's gonna come of me. Caught between the devil and deep blue sea. Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I don't know what's going to come of me. Baby, 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 let me be. Baby, 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 won't you just let me be? Can't you see I'm caught between the devil and the deep blue sea?
So Ken, that one of your originals?
That's the new one. Got a car outside. Did you hear it? Sounds pretty groovy. This one's new, so I hope you like it. It's, again, the slide song on key of G, because I like that key. It's to an open chord, you know.
Do what you do.
Can anybody tell me where my little girl's gone? Can anybody tell me where my little girl's gone? She took off yesterday, left me sitting here on my own. Can anybody tell me where did my baby go? Can anybody tell me where did my little baby go? Well, she left me yesterday, and where she went to I don't know. Hey, little woman out there, want a sweet loving man, oh. There's any little woman out there, want a sweet loving man, oh. I'll keep you warm, baby. when those winter nights get cold. Can anybody tell me where my baby's gone? Can anybody tell me where my little baby's gone? She took off yesterday, and when I'm sitting here on my own,
One more song. Tucker, everybody. Blues man.
big trade tracks take you down New Orleans. Big trade tracks. I screwed that up. We do that again.
Keep on going, man. You know how we do it on stage.
Big trade tracks. Take me down New Orleans. Big train tracks. I need to tune up. I'm sorry.
But that's okay. We can go ahead and you can sit down and sip some tea with Lisa D. So Ken, what are you sipping?
I get this right though.
Well, Ken's tuning up right now. But he'll be back a little later with some more music. But one thing I wanted to talk about was this event that's happened with comedian Monique and DL Hughley. Her attitude with her co-stars has been making the news. She has not been nice. No one is quite sure, according to TMZ, when this escalating dispute between DL Hughley and Monique will end. But she and her husband Sydney have continued to press forward with their grievances. Days ago, Hughley and Monique were both booked to perform at a show in Detroit. And according to Hughley, he never spoke with Monique at the event, but he claimed she arrived late, attempted to have the show move forward with her performing last. Hughley claimed he was the headliner per his contract with the promoters, and he had fought hard for his place in the industry and refused to budge, as did the organizers. So what set off Monique was she thought she was going to be the headliner. And it was like, no, we're going to let DL Hughley do it. And then Monique, when she hit the stage, folks, she went into DL Hughley. She was not nice. She was not nice. And according to Monique, her contract stated that she was headlining. So it's been a bunch of confusion. So both parties are just, they're going at each other. And I know as a performer, as an entertainer, you got to play nice with people. You can't go out there and,
be ugly, because nobody likes ugly. Be good to people and they will be good to you, because what happens is that energy you give off when you're out there being ugly, just talking about other performers you're working with, it's not good, and it makes you lose gigs. It makes people not want to see you. It makes you get blacklisted. So Monique, put the smile on, girl. Put the smile on, girl, and let them see you're funny. Let them see you're funny again and not your anger. Nobody wants to see the anger, Monique. Nobody wants to see that. So I'm sipping tea to this. Entertainers, we got to treat our audience well. We have to be pleasant with our audience. We have to not be out there putting out all our negative energy and all our negative words out there onto our audience and how we feel about people. We have to, entertain, and, don't be ugly. Cheers to that one. And what I'm drinking today, I'm drinking orange juice, because my guest, Ken, he is sober. He's been sober for a year. So I am drinking orange juice, just plain old orange juice. No vodka. No vodka today. No vodka. And Ken, what are you drinking? He's there somewhere.
Yeah, I am. I got muted because I think I was playing over your talking.
Oh, that's all right.
And I was out of tune, so it's fine. Muting me was a good idea.
So Ken.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee and water.
And as I was telling my viewers, because you've been a year sober now.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and I was talking about how as entertainers, we need to be nicer to we need to be nice to our audience, and not do a Monique and get out there and just show all our ugly, because that makes people not want to come see you no more.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know much about Monique, but from what I've heard, she's been not the coolest person going. And the problem with that is when you start not appreciating not only your audience but your co-entertainers, it's not a good look, man. It isn't. And she doesn't seem to think or remember that if it wasn't for her audience, she wouldn't have a job.
True.
And if it wasn't for the venue owners, she wouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
And when you're dogging other people, they don't want to work with you.
They do
and
not.
with that, what happens there is you get some headliners that don't like you, and they say, if she's coming, I'm not coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just gets around. Pretty soon, the word gets around that you're a pain in the butt.
Right.
And so, as far as I'm concerned, my audience, I appreciate the daylights out of them. And I played for some singers who were really well known when I was a sideman, and one in particular would not leave till he signed every autograph that everybody wanted signed. And if they didn't have anything to eat, he'd buy them something to eat. I mean, he was that kind of guy. If they had like one girl she came from our show we did a show in Defiance, Ohio, and she drove all the way from Chicago, and he played till 3 a.m, and he asked her, if she was going to stay in the hotel with all the rest of the people, and she said, no, I got to be back home tomorrow because I don't have a hotel room. I can't afford a hotel room, and I got to go back to Chicago. And he said, no, you're not going back to Chicago. I'm going to buy you a hotel room so you don't have to drive sleepy. Wow.
Gracious.
And then he thought, I mean, that's the kind of entertainers that I learned from.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see any of these guys do anything but treat their audience with pure respect. And so I think someone who is in the entertainment business and they start feeling entitled, that's the start of a downfall.
Yeah, because she was starting to come up and she's on her way back down again, unfortunately. So, Monique, it's time for a change, girl.
Time for a change, because I know you're the funny queen. I know you're the funny queen. Be that funny girl. Please be that funny girl again. So, Ken Tucker, I've got some questions for you. Okay?
And I got some answers, I hope.
Okay. So, you've had a comeback from a 6-week coma, and it's just been just a little over a year ago that happened. So, how are you?
Well, apart from my right side being pretty much annihilated, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, internally, I'm fine, but that's my mechanical parts that were really damaged. But yeah, I was in a coma for 6 weeks.
Yeah, we had some video, a picture of you while you were, in the hospital, and it's really, yeah.
Yeah, it was a touch and go situation for a while. One doctor I went when I was in Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis, and when I finally woke up, I was in the accident on May 12th, and they life flighted me to Indianapolis. And when I finally woke up, I remember waking up to I don't know if it was an intern or a nurse or whatever, but a gentleman leaning over me wearing a face shield, a face mask, and scrubs said, "Mr. Tucker, do you know where you are?" And I looked around and said, "I'm assuming the hospital."
Wow.
And he said, "Yeah, you were in a really bad accident." My son walks in, my younger one, and he said, "Dad, you've been in a coma for 6 weeks." And I said, "No, I haven't." My wife walked in and said, "Yes, you have." Because it was June 23rd or 24th when I finally woke up.
So you almost did not make it.
Yeah, the doctors were, the one doctor, when I came back to Indianapolis, I was in Evansville for some of my rehabilitation. And they took me back to Indianapolis for my x-rays. And one doctor walked in and said, "You don't remember me, do you?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Well, I remember you." He goes, "I'm amazed that you look this good." Because he said, to be quite honest, we didn't think you were going to make it through the first week.
Wow.
And, that's kind of a sobering thought. But I thank God that he has preserved me and shown mercy on me and gave me another chance.
Yeah, because you had gigs and all that ready to go, and then the accident.
Yeah, in fact, I had to cancel 2 big shows. I had 2 festival gigs lined up.
Yeah.
And they were big festivals. And I told, it was like, they were both in September. And about August, I was telling my wife, I'm going to try to make those shows if I have to go in a wheelchair. And she goes, "No, you're not. You're not. You're going to cancel them." I said, "Well, honey, it's like 3 or 4 weeks away. Maybe I'll." She goes, "You're going to cancel them. You will not be ready." And she was right.
Yeah.
I didn't start walking until October, and I had to have, and as you can see, I still have my old buddy here.
Yeah, you still need that cane, but at least you're up and able. You're up and able now.
Well, I'll look at it this way. I'm breathing and ambulatory,
Yes.
And I can deal with the pain. The pain reminds me that I have a second chance.
Oh, yeah.
So the pain is not pleasant, but it's a subtle reminder that I'm still alive.
Yeah. So you've been sober now for a year. How's that going for you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yep. And what I've done is I replaced alcohol with coffee.
Ah.
But a lot of alcoholics do that. They replaced alcohol with coffee. My cousin has been sober for 20 years, and she still has drinking dreams. And she said, "I replaced alcohol with coffee too." A lot of them do that.
Just where you dream about drinking still?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's frightening because, I'm not getting drunk in the dream, but I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. And I wake up and I just have to, for a split second, I got to make sure I wasn't drinking because they're that real, It's and I have flashbacks from the accident too. I don't remember, but I have like these split second flashbacks. Yeah. And I have a little bit of memory trouble now because I think I hit my head pretty good, but.
Well, you were very messed up. Several broken bones.
Well, I broke my femur. I pulled my hip completely out of joint. In fact, I pulled it out so hard that part of the socket cracked or chipped off. And then, I don't know if you can see my wrist right there. Well, hold on, let me show you.
Wow.
It looks like I have a ball bearing in my wrist.
Still play. You are so lucky.
But I broke some fingers. I broke 4 ribs. This is all on my right side. I broke 4 ribs, and one of the ribs punctured my lung. It collapsed. My lung collapsed, and I started bleeding into it. And
as a singer, you need your lungs. Then
I had a trach for like 2 or 3 months. There's a trach scar right there. But they put me in traction. They put 2 screws on each side of my knee to hold my leg in traction.
Wow.
So, and yeah, but when I came to, my record company kept everybody up to date. My wife would tell them, and then he'd keep everybody up to date in the, the fan list and everything. And my wife came in and said, George says my record label president, George says, you need to check your messages. So I went in my messenger, and I had at least 500 well wishes from fans alone. And these are mainly, overseas, like Scandinavia and England and France, Germany, Japan.
Yeah, you're an international blues guy. You're known overseas, Japan. You had some things that were on the charts in Japan.
I was number 14 on Apple Music in Japan for blues.
Yeah.
I was number 1 in Cyprus for blues, which is kind of confusing to me because Cyprus is not known for the blues, really. But, I charted in the Middle East. Dubai is big for the blues. In fact, I have a friend, Tad Robinson. He goes to United Arab Emirates every year and plays for a bunch of big wigs over there.
I had no idea Dubai was blues.
They love the blues in the Middle East.
I would never have guessed that. Ever.
Well, I tell you what else is they want me to go do 6 weeks in Croatia. I went to England once, and that was pretty fun for the time I was there. And but it's funny because you're interviewing me now, and I've known you a long time. But most of my interviews are in the United Kingdom. About 80% of them. Yeah, 80% of my interviews are in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
They used to be in France and Germany too. But the lady who interviewed me from France quit doing radio. And the German, there is a couple radio shows in Germany that played me all the time. And I like listening to the shows because it's funny how they talk about the blues in German, if you can imagine that. Yes. It's just the Kentucky Blues in the United States of America, playing the Stone and Junkyard Hot Rod. And
Speaking of Junkyard Hot Rod, if I could get Brenda Brown to play that video that you made with that group in Croatia.
Yeah, that got 56,000 views, I think.
Let's see if she's around. Brenda Brown, are you there to play that video?
Brenda's avoiding me.
Oh no, this Brenda Brown doing her producing. And what's the name of this group?
What group? Oh no, you mean Brother Whiskey?
Yeah, Brother Whiskey.
That's a Cygnus. I wrote Brother Whiskey on a napkin about 15 years ago in a coffee shop. I had the guitar riff down, but I couldn't get words to it. So I was sitting there drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes when you could smoke inside. And all of a sudden these words kind of fell in my head because I was, of course, back then, my main drink was whiskey. I drank whiskey all the time. I smoked all the time. And so Brother Whiskey and Sister Nicotine. Well, anyway, I recorded it and did real well on the charts and stuff. And Cygnus contacted me and said, we want to do a cover of Brother Whiskey if you don't care. These guys are from South America. They're from Colombia. And I said, absolutely, man. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. So we want you on it too.
So we're gonna play that video here. Okay. And Virginia Diaz is really fanning on you right now. She said, thank you very much. She's been sending you purple hearts.
Hey, Virginia Diaz, you are awesome as anything, darling.
She said, thank you, Ken Tucker. Has been an honor to hear you play. Oh, yeah, Virginia.
Even though I was playing out of tune while she was talking.
That's all right. Because they're getting ready to hear you do this video. They're getting ready to hear you on this video.
I want to give props to Chris. I do got to give props to Chris Walters for recording me.
Yay.
I didn't go to South America. He did it in his garage in Sullivan, Indiana.
Cool.
We call him Frog. His nickname's Frog.
Okay, so
he's awesome.
Brenda Brown, can we get that video going? Brother Whiskey, written by Ken Tucker.
And performed by me and Cygnus.
With Cygnus. Oh, it is
CYGNUS.
It is so good.
Brother Whiskey, sister nicotine. I must confess, you got your claws in me. In the morning, a little turkey starts my day. Got a little kick, it's what I crave. Then at the noontime, I throw a couple more back. Then it's off to the grocery store to get another bag. Brother Whiskey and sister nicotine. Brother Whiskey, sister nicotine. I must confess, you got your claws in me. Then at night time, when I get real tired, a little bit of throat makes me feel alright. Then something bad, they make me feel real loose. Sometimes I think my neck's stuck in a noose. Brother Whiskey and sister nicotine. Brother Whiskey, sister nicotine. I must confess, you got your claws in me. You got your claws in me. Yeah, you got your chains on me. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! I love that song.
I love it that you can hear their accent when they sing. That's a killer.
You can catch it every once in a while.
Yeah, but
words.
Big props to the guys in Cygnus. They're awesome, especially Deneb and Roots. They're my buddies. And and their fans, especially Agnes and Sylvia. They're fans of mine now too, because they're big Cygnus fans. They heard that and they became fans of me. I want to tell you a little about those lyrics though. I wrote that on a napkin 15 years ago, and I put it away in a crossword puzzle book. I do crossword puzzles like madly. I love crossword puzzles. So I had one that was already used up, so I stuck it in there to keep it safe, and then I kind of lost track of it. And I was showing this. I wrote this in Sullivan, Indiana, at the newsstand on the square. And when I went in there, I showed them the video. And I said, I think I got the lyrics somewhere. And they said, well, if you can find them, we'll frame them and put them up. So I went home and I just kind of, I thought, well, I'll just check around. So I went through my crossword puzzle books, and lo and behold, it fell out.
Wow.
And I took it to them, and they framed it. And now it's in a booth, the second booth, as you come in to the newsstand. It's in a frame right there. And I autographed it for them and everything. All the mistakes that were marked out are on there, everything.
Wow, that's a cool story. So I've heard a rumor, Ken, that you're related to one of my topics that I talked about today, Johnny Depp. Is that true or false? You're related to Johnny Depp?
I'm related to a lot of people, sister. Yeah, 12 cousins. In fact, what I did was I went through my family tree stuff, and I found the chart with me and Johnny Depp on it. And I think it goes back like 300 years, but 12 cousins is 12 cousins. We haven't seen each other at any family reunions, let's put it that way.
You guys
if I go up to him, he'll probably look at me and say, I don't know you and I don't want to. But he's a musician, so maybe if I play my guitar and sing for him, we might hang out. I don't know.
You never know.
At the moment right now, if I called his management, say I'm Johnny's 12th cousin, they'd probably laugh and hang up.
They probably,
but I can prove it. I tried to send you I did a what is it called, a screenshot. I tried to send it to you.
Yeah.
But you didn't say. I'm going to try to get that to you still.
Cool.
Oh, by the way, that blue guitar I was playing is now owned by Brandon, our buddy, Brandon Scioto.
Really? Oh, Brandon Scioto is another local musician up here that I really care for. I love him a lot.
Brandon's my buddy.
Yeah,
I love Brandon.
On my show as soon as he gets his music out, and George says it's okay.
Well, he had a guitar I liked, and he said, well, I'll trade you for that blue one there. I said, okay, you got it. So we just swapped guitars in his basement.
Huh. So you have met some amazing performers in all your years of entertainment. Who was your most memorable and why?
Well, there's no contest with this. Larry Norman. I was a fan of his from the age of 13 when I first heard his album, In Another Land. Then I got Only Visiting This Planet and So Long Ago the Garden. It's a trilogy of albums. He got signed to Capitol in 1968. I think he was 17 maybe. Let's see, he was born in 46. 56, 60. Oh, no, he was like 20. He was 21, I think, when he got signed to Capitol.
Wow.
Anyway, he became the godfather of Christian rock music. And I was, I'm a Christian, but I still like Rolling Stones and the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and the Doors and Janis Joplin and Creedence and all those guys, right? And Eric Clapton. And he was just right up there with him. And he was the actual pioneer of that whole music. He was doing that before there was even a genre called Christian rock music. He started the whole thing. But he heard me play.
Christian rock was cool.
Yeah. In fact, churches banned him. Churches hated him, and rock and rollers hated him, but he kept going anyway, just trudged ahead.
Wow.
And anyway, he heard me play. We were introduced by a friend of mine, and we had a mutual friend named Lisa Warehouser. who was also a musician from the Chicago area. She invited me up to see him and got me free tickets. And so I met him and asked him to do a concert in my hometown. And he did. He said, as long as you open for me and your band is my backup band. And I was like, okay, don't have to ask me twice. And so when he heard me play, he said I was the only guitar player he's heard that played like his old guitar player who'd passed away.
Wow.
And I said, well, that's because I learned all my licks off your albums. I played all the songs. A lot of my stuff I learned off of your albums. So I said, will you be my...
I've heard other guitar players locally talk about that you play like an old blues guy. You play like an old, your guitar, your sound is like, like you're...
That's what people say about me?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to be like Ingwe Malmsteen. I'm failing miserably. No, I'm teasing.
Okay, next question. What was your most memorable show?
It wasn't my biggest, but it was the most memorable. And it made my brother kind of upset because he lives in the area. But we did a West Coast thing with Larry, and I moved to Salem in his house for a month. And we had one of the other guitar player from Indianapolis, Herbie Manaputi. That's where I met Herbie, and Herbie's one of my best friends now. And Brandon McDonald, who lives up in Vancouver, Canada area. We all stayed in his house for a month and practiced together and recorded. And Jason Carter, the drummer and record producer, was there. And so we were going to play at the Gorge at George in Washington. I've never heard of the Gorge. Never heard of it because I'm a Midwesterner. I'd never been to Washington State. This is the first time I've ever been there. And so my brother, who lives in Everett, he's been there over half his life. And I stayed at his house before he drove me down to Larry's in Salem, Oregon. But we came back up, and he said, I didn't know you were playing the Gorge. Well, yeah, I told you. But we played the Gorge at George on main stage. And this is the first time I played for over 10,000 people. There's 10,000 people plus in the crowd.
Oh, I bet
and it was 115 degrees on stage.
Ooh.
3 in the afternoon, direct sunlight. Larry had a bad heart. That's what eventually took his life, was a bad heart. But he had a bad heart for 30 years. But we were on that stage. He was up there. We were up there for half the time. He did acoustic. Then we came up. Then he finished out with one song acoustic. But he wanted me wearing overalls and a black T-shirt everywhere. Now imagine a 500-pound dude. I weighed 510 pounds at the time, wearing Oshkosh overalls. These are farm overalls. They're hardcore. They're not light. They're like 15 pounds by themselves.
Yeah,
and a black T-shirt, 115 degrees in direct sunlight. When I walked off stage, I looked like I took a shower in my clothes.
Oh, wow.
But I asked Larry, I said, Larry, why do you want me to wear overalls? Because we look good in them, man. So I look like a hick, dude. He goes, yeah, but you're a cool hick.
So that's the important part. You were a cool hick.
But that was the most memorable. I played for Larry for like 4 years actively, and then off and on for about 2 more years. And then he got pretty much too sick to tour, and he died in 2008. And it was a big personal loss, but I think it was even bigger loss for the Christian and music world. Yeah. Because Larry became, when he was like, he'd open for the Dave Clark Five, he'd open for Jimi Hendrix, he opened for the Doors, Grateful Dead, he opened for everybody from the San Francisco area.
Wow.
And he became friends with Paul McCartney. He did his first album in London, and George Martin was the chief producer. He said, I was in Studio A and the Beatles were in Studio B. And one day he was sitting there, he said, I was tuning and getting ready to play my acoustic in a song. And someone came up behind me and said, I like your music. And I turned around, it was Paul McCartney.
Oh, wow.
And
you met Paul McCartney.
So he goes, let's talk about songwriting. So he was in there. He said, Paul McCartney come over on the Beatles breaks once in a while, and we'd sit around and play and talk songwriting.
Wow.
And he stayed friends with Paul McCartney to the end. He was friends with Paul Simon, Bob Dylan. He knew all the big names because he did shows with them.
Wow.
And but what I liked about Larry the most, Larry was the guy I was telling you about that wouldn't let that girl drive home tired.
Yeah.
He would not, if there were people lined up around, what he'd do, he'd go walking through the crowd after the set. He wouldn't go hide in the green room. He'd say, "Ken, let's go walk around the festival and see what's going on." And people just swarmed to him, and he just pray with them. They wanted to be pray with him, or he'd sign their autographs. He'd talk to them. He never turned anyone away.
What a good guy. He sounds like a good Christian guy.
Well, he would call me and said, "Do you need money?" I said, "Larry, I'm not going to take your money because now I feel like I need to send this to you, and you better cash a check. And I'm going to send you a check. You better cash it." I said, "Okay, send me $50." And he said, "Okay, there'll be a check in the mail in about a week or two." So here comes this envelope from Larry, and I open a check. It's like $2,500.
Wow.
And he said, he left a letter in there. Put a letter in there. "Do not buy guitars with this money." I said, "Well, I don't want it then." No, but he wanted to make sure that my son had everything he needed. He was like 1 or 2 years old at the time.
Wow.
And now he's 24. But he would say, "Want to make sure that Marsh had everything she needed. Want to make sure I get enough overalls. Get more overalls. Get more overalls!" Exclamation point. And then use the rest of the money for yourself.
Wow.
So, and he said, "You can buy tickets," and he tell me where the next gig was and said, "Make sure you use this money to pay for, make sure you have enough to pay for the transportation next show. And then you keep whatever's left and that's your pay." So that's what I did, and he did that a lot. And sometimes he'd call me up and say, "I just want to tell you I love you, buddy. I love you. And I hope you're doing well."
Okay, so let's see. For me, it's game time. Want to play a game?
Me?
Yeah, me and you gonna play a game.
Oh, sure, why not?
We're gonna play a game. We're gonna see what's in Brenda Brown's kitchen.
I'm guessing haggis.
Sometimes if it was haggis, it would be great. The kitchen is open. Okay, the kitchen is open. So the question is, Ken Tucker, will you try it or trash it? Is the question. Okay, Brenda Brown, go ahead.
I was a bachelor. I could eat anything.
Oh, you think so?
Oh,
you
yeah.
think so? You really think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Ken Tucker, she's going to show you this picture.
All right, Brandon, show me the picture.
Are you going to try it or trash it?
Heck, I'll try it. I don't care.
Oh, okay. You're going to try. Me? No, because it looks like.
It looks like my cooking. So.
Oh, no. Not me.
I remember one guy in England, we were talking about American food and English food. He goes, "Have you ever tried spotted dick?"
What?
It's called spotted dick.
If I ever had that offered to me, I'd be like, "Hey, it needs penicillin."
I say, "Look, I had that. I think I had that 2 years ago. I don't think I want it again." But it's actually I have a friend from, one of my friends from Brandon. I have a friend that came up. Well, she's a friend now. English lady. We're talking about. She goes, "Oh, that stuff is great. I love it." I said, "It sounds like a disease."
Exactly. Try it or trash it. What is this? Honey wing sauce. Actually, I would try that. Cajun hot honey wing sauce.
Not me. I don't like hot stuff at all.
No? Oh my gosh, I would eat that up.
I eat bland crap. I do.
That up. So
I don't even put pepper or anything. What the heck?
This is I do believe this battered weed fried.
I'd eat that.
If it wasn't illegal in Indiana, I would too, because look, it's illegal in Indiana. Why? I mean, Las Vegas gets it. Colorado.
Illinois gets
it. Indiana now. We can't have that stuff. That's so unfair. It's so unfair. Thank you, Brenda Brown, for your kitchen. Oh, I'm going to tear that up.
No, I'm all over that stuff.
I'm tearing that up. I'm gonna start with the ribs and end with the chicken. Yes, because that's cool. That's cool. Now no. Now she done went too far. Are you eating, trying it, or trashing that, Ken? It looks like bananas with bologna and cheese, and chocolate chip cookie with a hamburger in the middle.
I've eaten worse.
Don't
forget, I was a bachelor for a while.
No. No, I'm not doing the jalapeno.
No, me either.
On the funnel cake, no, I am not doing that because I'm pretty sure that's I'm allergic.
Next time you see my wife, ask her about the spaghetti omelet I made for her.
I will ask her when I see her.
She would not eat it.
Was it really spaghetti?
Spaghetti omelet.
Was it really? And
that's my wife. That's my beautiful wife. That's our wedding day. What a beautiful woman she is. She looks the same. In fact, she looks better now.
That is so sweet.
34 years. We'll be married 34 years on the 11th.
Wow. And look at you, all debonair, and your tux and everything.
I had hair.
And you had all your hair.
Yeah. When you have kids, it falls out.
So, do you have any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, I do. First of all, I want to shout out to my cousin. I want a big shout out to my cousin Jimmy Wilkie over in Wisconsin. All my cousins. I'm related to half of Kenosha, Wisconsin. My cousin Chucky, Brenda, Becky, my Aunt Carol, Aunt Pat. Shout out to my brother Steve, my brother Jimmy, the Banana Man.
The Banana Man, he's actually an entertainer here in Terre Haute too, and he dresses as a big banana.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary douchebag, but I love him anyway.
I like your brother. He's awesome.
And I want to shout out to Brandon Cioto and all the musicians here in Terre Haute. Woo! And Jim Wooten, my bass player, awesome guy. And my wife, of course, my beautiful bride, my dad, Steve. My brother, I mentioned my brother Steve already. And my new cousins on the East and West Coast, the Judays and the Van Werts and the Haddocks. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but I love it. And John Beeson and Alex and Pup. John Beeson at the Music Shop, Alex and Pup at Main Mix. And Doc I want to say hi to Doc over at Rocky Mountain Slides. I endorse Rocky Mountain Slides. And George and all the guys at Count Zero Records.
Thank you for sipping tea with me, Ken. Thank you for sipping tea with me, Lisa D. Thank you, Ken Tucker, for showing up here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I really enjoyed your music.